Hey guys, so your girl is very excited to try some makeup brushes that I bought from TikTok. I did a quick first impression unboxing, but that was all your girl did. And you all know that when it comes to makeup tools or makeup brushes, that it's all about how they work. So your girl wants to try these brushes out today. I'm gonna do a full face only using makeup brushes. I know that sounds crazy because I am definitely a sponge slash beauty blender type of girl, but hopefully these brushes are good enough that your girl can get a beat. And as you guys can see by your girl's face, this makeup look is what I was able to create with these brushes. So if you want to see how your girl was able to do this step by step, each brush I used, and basically just the whole process, then definitely keep watching. But before we get into the video, make sure you're subscribed to your girl's channel. Make sure you give today's video a thumbs up if you want more makeup tutorials like this, and follow your girl on all my social medias. All of my handles on there is Chrisyslane. So without further ado, let's get into today's makeup video. And I don't know if you know, but TikTok shop is a whole big thing, and everybody loves the process of being able to just buy products on there. And a lot of the products, from what I have seen in videos and everything like that, you know, have been good products. So your girl decided to go ahead and buy some makeup brushes. So these are the makeup brushes. I kind of did like an unboxing of this on TikTok, but your girl's finally trying them out with my makeup routine. It's 18 pieces and it was $10.19. That's how much I paid on TikTok shop, which is pretty good because if you watch my unboxing, like these brushes are very soft and very durable. And there's like a really cute like eyeliner one in here that I'm dying to use, but I don't think I have like something to use with this yet. But anyway, your girl's trying out these brushes. They're super soft, very sturdy. They seem like very good quality, but of course the last thing that your girl has to check is to see how good they apply makeup. So I'm gonna be going in right now with these brushes. Your girl's about to get started. I already started with my eyebrows, so I kind of filled in already. So the next thing I have to do is line it up with my concealer. The brand is Mange, M-A-A-N-G-E. This is the concealer brush. It's like a super flat head. So I'm gonna use that right now to do my concealer. So this actually applied really good. So far I see that it's like not absorbing the product, because usually with my regular concealer brush, like when I try to go like this, it doesn't fill up my entire eyelid, and this like literally covered my entire eyelid. So now I usually go in with another brush that I use to kind of like blend everything out. It's a little fluffier than the last one, but I'm gonna try to use that to kind of blend all of this out. So the brushes feel really good, like really good. Like, you know how a brush will sometimes like poke you by accident, like there's no like, and you could feel like almost like it's so rough and so hard. Like this does not do that. These brushes are super soft. Okay. So although this brush is not like a particularly angled brush, it actually works really good, kind of just keeping the concealer straight and just kind of going through and blending that out. Like, I'm surprised because I would think that because it has so many bristles that it wouldn't do a good job at that, but it actually is. So look how well this blended out my concealer. Like super blended but with coverage. I'm gonna go in with my eyeshadow now. And there's quite a few eyeshadow brushes in here. 6 eyeshadow brushes. There's also one here that's angled, but I'm gonna save that for when I'm contouring my nose. So there's quite a few eyeshadow brushes in this, okay? So I'm gonna go with the fluffiest one, which is this brush here. This is the fluffiest brush in the pack. As you can see, super soft. So I'm gonna use that to put on my eyeshadow and then for my base, and then go from there. So I'm going in with my Pure Barbie, you know, eyeshadow palette. So far, as I'm dipping the eyeshadow in there, it's doing really good at picking up the product. So let's do my first swipe and we'll see. So this is really good. Like, I really like these so far. Like, it's picking up the product, it's laying the product down. So far so good. So I'm gonna go in with a different brush. I'm gonna use that to pack in the middle color, the outer color. I'm gonna go in with a dark brown. I'm just gonna tap this in just so you guys can see how well it's packing in the color. So I think I'm gonna zoom in a little bit just so you guys can see me, but I'm gonna do it on the other eye so you guys can see. Look how well this is packing on the color. This is how good it's packing on the color. Like, look at this. Like, I know you guys can actually see that. It's packing the color so well in this outer corner here. I'm gonna pack the color right here in the corner. I'm just gonna like brush it up a little. But I'm gonna go back in it with a different brush to kind of like, you know, fluff all that out. Now I'm gonna go in with the first brush that I used. I'm just gonna use that to kind of blend out those two colors together here, just so it's not any harsh lines, like so. Then I'm gonna go with some glitter in the corner. Dip into the gold. I just want to see how good it is to put on some glitter. So I'm gonna do a swipe right here. And I'm gonna add the glitter right here. Do the same thing on the opposite eye. This is how it's adding the glitter, guys. I know you guys can see this. Like, these brushes are so good. I am super surprised. And I really thought I paid $20 for them, and turns out I actually paid $10. So now I'm even like surprised, because it's like really good so far. So eyeliner's on. I'm gonna put my primer because I want this to just sit. So I'm going with my e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. So, you know, for foundation, my holy grail is a beauty blender. I feel like it just applies my foundation amazingly, but because we're testing out these brushes and your girl kind of wants to get into more foundation brushes, I'm gonna try this foundation brush. Now there's two brushes in here. These are the two biggest brushes. I feel like this one could be a foundation brush. Like, this one's super fluffy, so maybe this is more of a powder brush, and this probably is more of a foundation brush. So I'm gonna try this one, and we're gonna see how well it applies your girl's foundation. So I'm going in with the Born This Way Matte 24 Hour foundation. This is in Butter Pecan. And I'm just going to pump 1, 2, 3 pumps on my hand, which is usually the amount that can cover your girl's entire face. And we're going to see if that can happen with this brush. Now, so far so good with the eyeshadow brushes, because all of my eyeshadow like went on, like the pigment, everything, which means that the brush is not absorbing the product. So hopefully this one does the same. So I'm just gonna put the brush in here, and this is how it is when I pick up the product. And we're just gonna go in on my face and see how well it applies my foundation. Now, that is some pigment right there. Like, I feel like as soon as I touch my face, I instantly saw the foundation show up, which is really, really surprising for me. I don't know, I feel like I just got so hooked on the Beauty Blender that I kind of never gave brushes a chance in terms of my foundation. And I do feel like they could possibly give you a better natural finish. So far, this is, let me just take a little bit more for the forehead. So far, this is no foundation, and this is with foundation. So I think the brush did pretty good, and I still have like half of my foundation on my hand here. So I'm just gonna dabble in that some more, and then we're gonna do the same thing on this side. Like, do you guys see how the product is just going on? Like, super, super easy. Wow, I am so surprised. And I still have some foundation left on my hand. Like, that's crazy. Your girl has been looking for like a foundation brush for the longest. I feel like, I don't know why, but this foundation is looking a little dark for your girl. But we're gonna line it up a bit once we add our concealer and everything. But this is looking pretty good if you ask me. Like, this, the foundation went on really, really good. Like, so I know your girl, I'm probably looking a little dark or a little orange, but we're gonna fix it. I still have foundation on my hand. Look, still dripping. So I'm gonna go in with my concealer. We're gonna lighten up this foundation a bit. I think the brush applied the foundation amazingly. It's weird because I feel like I'm actually seeing more coverage with the brush than how I normally do with the Beauty Blender. Or maybe it's the camera, I'm not sure, but alright, so there's a big flat brush in here. I think this is the big concealer brush, right? So it's flat, just like the smaller one I used on my eyebrows, but come on, focus. Right, but super bigger. So I'm gonna use that to blend out my concealer under the eye. So I'm scared about this one, I will tell you guys, because concealer can make or break your foundation, and I have never applied my foundation with a brush. So hopefully your girl can blend this out well enough that it doesn't mess up my makeup. I'm gonna lift my eye because we wanna get it under the eye. So this is one eye with the concealer not blended, and this is the other eye with the concealer blended. And I think it did quite a good job. Like, my face is even like kind of getting back to its normal, like I'm kind of blending out the colors pretty well to kind of like bring some brightness back to my face. So the key here, I feel, when you're using a brush, right, is always to tap So you're not rubbing, and you're not like dragging, like you're literally tap 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 tap, like back and forth until everything is blended. This is after your girl has blended all of the concealer. So these brushes are amazing. They're amazing. I'm only halfway with my makeup and I am so impressed. I was such a skeptic because when it comes to foundation especially and concealer with brushes, I just wasn't my cup of tea. But I don't know, this might be the set of brushes that will make your girl a believer. So far so good with the brushes. What do you guys think? I think it's coming out really good. So now we're gonna go in and we're gonna set this concealer because we don't want this to move at all. So I'm gonna go in with the One Size Ultimate Setting Powder, which is a new powder that your girl just tried for the first time. I do a lot of these unboxes and first impressions and things like that on my TikTok. So if you want to see your girl like actually like open this up and everything, and like my initial first impression and thoughts, you should definitely follow your girl on TikTok. I have the same username handle on all of my social medias. So my TikTok is Chrisyslane as well. This is in the shade Sweet Honey, and I really like this powder for one particular thing. Other than the fact that the formula is great, I do love the fact that they took the time to come out with an open and close lid, because so many times with just this, the powder tends to fall out, especially if you don't cover it properly. And I just love that there's a super protective way for the powder to not get out of here separate from the cover. So that was really genius. Whoever thought of it, that was like super amazing, okay, to come up with. So now we're gonna go in and we're gonna use a brush to apply our concealer, and I feel like I need a really good fluffy brush for this. So I'm gonna go in with this brush. This is super fluffy. There's another brush in here, which is this one, but I feel like this would be a little too dense, and I think this is fluffy enough that it could reach in certain areas. And this one has an angle and this one doesn't, so I just think this would be better. So I put some of the powder in the cap. I'm just gonna dip and then dust off. So dip and dust off, and then I'm just, my camera is like on the verge of dying, so I'm just trying to really finish this really quick. So I love this. Do you see how effortless this is going under my eye? Like, that's how soft the brush is. So tapping, doing the same thing. So I am doing like a sweeping motion up here, but this is after I've like already tapped the concealer, where it's like completely like, you know, set. This is with the concealer set. Like, oh my god, like where are my dark circles? Like, my dark circles completely disappeared. It's crazy. All right, I'm gonna go in because I'm trying to speed it along before my camera dies again. So I'm gonna go in with my contour, and obviously I always use my stick, right? And I'm just gonna go under here, but I'm gonna use a brush to blend this out. I'm a little scared of this part, but we're gonna do it, okay? So there is an angle brush that was in here that I was saving for this step. Where is it? So there's an angled brush in here, as you guys can see. So this brush has an angle. If I hold it like this, you can see it a little better. So I'm gonna use that to drag down the concealer and blend it out. So I see so many people use brushes for their contour, and I'm just like, I don't know, I'm a little scared. I feel like it's gonna be a little too dark, but so far, like, the one kind of blended out pretty good. So I'm just gonna do the other side. I guess the key is just to stay in that same area all while like dragging it into your eyebrow up here and then down. So eventually it's just gonna do its own thing and like just blend out on its own. I usually don't do concealer in the middle of my nose. I just feel like it's gonna make the contour stand out way too much. Like, I'm not really trying to contour my nose. It's just a look that I like when I do my makeup. So I actually feel like this is perfect for the contour because technically your contour is going in an angle. So I'm just gonna dab this up and down like I would with my beauty blender, just to make sure that it is blending out. I feel like the camera is making it look a little more harsh than it actually is when I look in the mirror, but it's good. So we're gonna do the next side. I always angle it up right here by like my temple. So we're going like sort of like in a C shape, if that makes sense, like a curved C. So this is how we're preventing everything from being too harsh. Like, we want the contour, but we want it to look natural. We don't want you to be able to tell like where it starts and where it ends. So then we're gonna do the bottom. This part I usually drag down because if you have a double chin, this sort of helps to hide it. So on top of you know, tapping, I'm also dragging down. Now in my case, you know, I feel like the foundation looks a little darker now. Obviously we're in winter, so your girl probably needs to switch to my Fit Me, because usually that's the foundation that I use in the winter, but this is more like summer, you know, but it's gonna do for right now. So I'm just gonna bring it only up to here, not gonna bring it any lower. So this is how the contour looks blended out. Looks good so far. I'm gonna use the same brush that I used the liquid contour on, and I'm gonna go in over my powder over my nose. So I'm just gonna use that, and we're just gonna drag it down. Same thing on this side, just drag it down, kind of bring it in the direction that we want. And I'm gonna just try to blend that out a little bit so it's not too distinct, because usually I will go over this with a beauty blender just to make sure everything kind of blends out, but there's no beauty blenders in today's video. And then I'm also gonna go in with the angled brush, and I'm gonna use that as well to apply my powder contour over the cream. So it's just basically going in the same direction that you applied the liquid. Alright, same thing down here. So we're gonna go in. Usually at this point I go in with blush. So there is a brush here, which is this one, kind of smaller, a little smaller than I would like for a blush brush, but I'm just trying to use all the brushes in this so we can really get an idea. So I'm going in with my Pure Barbie. This is my blush palette, and I'm just gonna dip in here, and then I'm just gonna press and work my way up to the top. Okay, so press right here and then work my way to the top. All right, one thing about blush, if you put too much on, it's always something you can fix because it's on top of everything else. So you can just go in with a dry like brush. For example, I will show you guys. I have this brush right here. It's just a big fluffy brush. I can literally just go like this and it will take out the excess of the product that you don't want, right? And just make everything look more blended, right? So blush went on really good. just like it normally does for me. Now we're gonna go in with highlights. There is a mini fan brush in here, pretty small, like compared to my other fan brush, but it's obviously gonna do the trick. I just dip in here and just apply my highlight. Do you see this? Do you guys see how this highlight is applying? Like, oh my god. Like, really, like, this brush does not play. Like, these brushes do not play when it comes to applying product. Like, look at this. Like, it's really applying the product, like, very vibrant. Like, it's not retaining any of the product, which is really, really amazing, because it kind of sucks when you use a product and it just swallows all of your makeup. And you don't even get the actual product on your face. But that is not the case with these brushes. Like, all of the product is going exactly where it needs to go. I'm just gonna use my finger for my nose, and because I just don't like too much product in those areas. I just like a teeny bit of product. But I'm just gonna use the pan over my Cupid's bow. Alright, I'm gonna pause the video real quick, guys. Let's spray, because I see that the camera is going to die. So let's spray. This makeup look is what I was able to create with these brushes. So make sure you're subscribed to your girl's channel. Make sure you give today's video a thumbs up if you want more makeup tutorials like this. And follow your girl on all my social medias. All of my handles on there is Chrisyslane.